Hello and welcome to this weather update. It's February 16th, 2018, and we're going to talk about some snow in the forecast, perhaps some snow in the forecast. Oh, what I wouldn't give to have a scene like this. Well, this is from back in 2010, February 7th, 2010. This picture was taken, and this is at Jake's Branch Park after a blizzard. With the snow blowing off the trees and that crisp blue sky. It was a beautiful day. But will we get a scene like this? Probably not. But we're going to go ahead and look at some of the computer models and some of the forecasts. The Weather Service has us under a winter storm watch. Well, the potential is certainly there, but we just don't have the temperatures and the cold air that's really needed for a big snowstorm. But anyway, let's get to the models right now. So we're going to start with the GFS model, and we'll start with the wide view here to see how it's handling. You see we got this high building in here, and this really fast moving, and this is actually the system from today. We had rain most of the day today. It wound up being kind of on the rainy side today when we thought the rain would be over by the morning, but it wasn't. Anyway, we have this high moving in, and it's going to move in really fast and then move through really fast, and it's out by midday Saturday, and we're already in a return flow with the clouds rolling in, and this storm system approaching. So the question is, you see the track of this storm here, and you can see that it looks like it's going to be mostly a rain track on the GFS for us. And then as it moves out, another high builds in. That's just going to be not even, it's still going to be above normal, no real cold air in back of the storm. And I'll just touch on the long range here. It's not pretty. We don't really have any substantial cold. That we originally, it looked like we were going to get some, but no real substantial cold. Maybe again toward the end of the period, it looks like it's trying to bring in some cold air. We will have to see. We will have to see with that. But I just wanted to show you that. I'll show you the euro because I really don't want to spend too much time on the long range. I did that in the last weather update. So here we go. Here's that high offshore. There's the storm. But next week will be very hot, and next week could be very, very, very. Oh boy, I didn't realize I had that wrong. Hopefully you could see that. Next week will be very hot, as you can see. So, going to have some record-breaking heat next week. That I can tell you for sure. Whatever snow we get will be a distant memory by next Tuesday. But anyway, I want to go and look at the NAM model, and let's go ahead and get closer to our area and look at what the NAM has for us. So here we go. We are closer to our area, and actually I want to actually get the highest resolution one, 3 kilometer. Alright, so let's go ahead and look and see what happens here. So this high moves offshore. This is the NAM model, alright, and this is the one that's been consistently saying that this storm is going to be stronger and colder, and therefore we would get more snow. So the NAM has us by by tomorrow evening starting to get into some light snow, and as we go into the evening, see light snow starts overspreading the area, and this low starts starting to take shape off the coast here, and it rapidly deepens it. You could see, look at the convection activity over here. It rapidly deepens this low and keeps us in the snow. See how it keeps us? Possibly the east end would go over the rain, maybe the south shore, Ocean County perhaps, but north of this area right here, there could be some heavy snowfalls right on the north side of this rain snow line. And where does this rain snow line set up? That's the question. And that's going to depend a lot on a lot of things, complicated things. You see this low intensifies and it pulls away. So we do have the potential for seeing possibly up to 6 inches of snow in certain areas if you're looking at the NAM model. All right, and the NAM has been sticking with this for a while now. And if we go ahead and we look at the snowfall totals, let's go ahead and look at the total snowfall and see what this is giving us. You can see here that certain parts of the island could get 5-6 inches, northern and western parts, whereas Suffolk could get less. And so this is what I'm thinking is going to happen with the storm. And the snow could be pretty heavy at times. tomorrow night. It could be pretty heavy. It could come down. It's going to be a heavy, wet snow. And it's going to come down very heavy. And there's even been talk that there could even be thunder snow in certain areas. I don't know about that, but you can see that this the way this line is setting up, that there's going to be a sharp cutoff from the inch or less amounts to nothing, and then you go just a little bit further north and west, and you're talking 5 and 6 inches. In some areas, could even get a little more than that. And that's the NAM. So this is the only real chance for snow we have right now in the forecast. But hey, we didn't even expect this. So for the snow lovers, it's a pleasant surprise to get something, even if it doesn't stick around for too long. But then when we look at the GFS, you can see the GFS doesn't give nearly as much snow. It gives only a couple of inches. All right, so this is the problem. We have this variation in the models. I just want to look at the Canadian. We have this variation in the models with how this storm is going to play out. But the models, particularly the GFS, always sometimes underestimate in a marginal air mass that the heavy snow can actually cool the column down and bring the temperatures down so where the precipitation stays snow. And that I think is what the NAM is picking up on. So that is what I think the NAM is picking on. So I want to just show you the Weather Service forecast here. So the Weather Service has us in a winter storm watch, and I want to show you the map that the Weather Service is putting out for this storm here, our Weather Service, and then we'll look at the map for the other Weather Service here. So our Weather Service is definitely leaning toward the higher amounts here, 4 or 5 inches, maybe up to 6 over here. This is what is being predicted by our Weather Service in Upton. But I want to see what the New Jersey one has, and then I'm going to get to what I think is going to happen. So let's see what the New Jersey one has here. And there we go. So yeah, New Jersey one has a different setup. So it's all going to depend on how this cold air sets up, and it's just going to be a rather hard to forecast storm. It's a challenge to forecast because of the marginal temperatures. But I think that we are going to see enough of a cool down to see accumulating snow here on Long Island. How much? Well, I'm going to tell you how much I think is going to fall next. Okay, so this is what I think is going to happen here, and I mean I'm pretty much in agreement with the Weather Service, but I think that certain areas will get a little less. I think now pay attention to the green line. I think anywhere where this green line is where it's going to mix or change to rain. All right, in the vicinity of this green line and south of this green line. Now north of this green line there may be some mixing with rain, but I still think there'll be 2 to 4 inches of accumulation. It might go back and forth between snow and rain several times during the storm. To the north of this line, I think it's going to stay, this blue line here, this light blue line, I think it's going to wind up staying mostly snow. And this is where it's going to accumulate 4 to 6 inches. Do I think it's going to be roadway accumulation? There's probably a lot of heat in the roads, so I don't know how well it's going to stick to the roads. But it should have no problem sticking to the grassy areas and trees and things like that. And then this darker blue area right here, and this is where it may wind up sticking to the roads a little more, because this area will stay snow completely. I don't think it's going to see any rain at all. So we're talking north shore of Suffolk County, northwestern Suffolk, from say Smithtown on west to through the North Shore, Nassau, Huntington, Oyster Bay, Port Washington, into Great Neck, into northern Queens. This is going to stay mostly snow into the Bronx, maybe parts of Manhattan, Bergen County, and interior central New Jersey. It could wind up staying mostly snow, and there you could see 6 to 8 inches of snow. Even though this is a quick storm, it could get very heavy tomorrow night, and it could be very interesting. So I will keep you posted on this storm. I know I was going to do a video on the clear sky situation. I don't know when I'm going to get around to that now with all the other stuff going on. So, but anyway, we got to focus on this storm now. So for those snow lovers out there, enjoy it. It probably won't be around for long, but enjoy a little bit of winter that we'll be getting this weekend, and maybe winter will be back. I'm hoping we see some more winter before spring at this point. But anyway, this is amazing that we're getting this snowfall in this warm period. It's amazing that we are even talking about it. But I do think that the NAM is onto something, and the NAM usually picks up on these coastal storms better than the GFS, and I think there's just going to be just enough dynamic cooling to bring an accumulating snow to a big part of the area. So take it easy, and thank you for watching.